Give you one last chapter. So update, we have one struggle on either side. Aaron's 1-1, Junior's 1-1. You can see units across the board have taken huge damage. We have Obi-Wan Kenobi, who's like, like a tank, doing great. We've got an attack coming in on this side from Joon Yi. Who's throwing the attack?
I am. I'm not going to throw the attack yet. I'm going to use.
He's
I wasn't sneaking.
He's used that one.
wasn't sneaking.
Wait, no, it's Wrecker and Omega, and the I wasn't sneaking. What is that? So Wrecker and Omega's. So within 3 unit, he does not control. Basically, he rolls 5 attack dice. He's basically just going to do damage.
So I'm going to do 5 damage.
So he just basically does 5 damage.
Does it crits?
It counts hits and crits. And he gets to pick. So 5 damage to Grievous. So and then he does a 6 dice attack. So 5 damage onto Grievous. Ouch.
Could you?
So Grievous is in a little bit of trouble.
Because I taught the force, could you spend 1 or 2 force?
Oh. Oh no. Sorry, what we need to add is a force token there, because when you are injured, and you can notice that Wrecker and Omega do have 1 injury on them, all force actions require 1 extra force. So your characters are legitimately getting weaker and weaker as the game goes on. So he's just going to do a focus, which is going to give him 1 additional attack on this roll. So...
they all go through. 4 misses.
Oh, no!
Well, there's something weird here.
So let's see what we've got.
I will do.
So he has 3...
I can change 1 to an expertise because I'm bad batch.
Oh, bad batch. So he has 4 attacks and 3 expertise. So just to show you the Wrecker and Omega. So they are doing the boom. Let's see, which stance is he using? Is he using the boom stance? Yes. So he's throwing down a pin and then shove, move. Well, first it's a... Well, the first...
Wait, I have to do it in order, right?
Yes, and the big arrow is a move.
Okay, this is easy.
So you move the first
I'll
one.
move first.
Yeah. So he does a full move. So Wrecker's going to decide to just Wrecker and Omega. So what is he actually going to do though? So let's go ahead and hide that card. He's trying to figure out what he does. So they did a. I will just show you the stance here. So what he's doing is he. Oh no, different stance. So he is pinning, doing a damage, and now that top one lets him make a move. He's doing damage. He can do some shoves, do another move. So he can just run. So he's doing a real boom if he picks the top tree, and he just like basically does damage, but he does double movement and double shoves. So he's trying to figure out what he's actually going to do. So let's go ahead and hide this card, as you can see what he's doing. So he's going to reposition that Wrecker and Omega.
I don't have to dash.
Yeah, so what he's trying to figure out is whether he has to, because looking at the objective placement for this particular battle round, ladies and gentlemen, if we look at this, previously they were kind of all spread out across the board, but I'm going to quickly bring up our objectives layout. Sorry, a teleprompter isn't going, but if you look at the 3 center column, top, middle, and bottom, all 3 objectives are in that center row. So in terms of like contesting points, they're going to be like fighting over that little line in the middle. So that's what you can see. He's trying to figure out, okay, I've got that line, I've got the other gold objective at the top on that north tower, and I've got the southern objective that's kind of hidden underneath that little crawl walkway.
So I guess that now you can't. Now I got it. So now was that within range 2? Yeah. So now you can. I got.
Yeah. So he basically dashes out so that he can disengage. You got that massive Grievous right there that you got to watch out for with all those lightsabers. He moves over.
No, because I have to dash. Then push. So I've already resolved the first dash. I'm out.
And he is able to successfully get backs up just a little bit, trying to reposition himself just so he's still able to get those objectives. The way that objective capture works is it's kind of like pushing a button. You push it, and then even if you leave it, you still maintain control of that. So he gains control, and now we're moving the struggle. So everyone gains a momentum every turn because they're past the 90-minute mark. So we get 1, and then we move the token.
Shatterpoint.
And so now we are on 1, and then we roll. In case you're wondering what they're actually doing, there's that center line of center line of objectives, they're moving the priority objective token there, and that basically means now they can get double points if they're contesting that one. So you might see them make decisions to try to run around after that one. So now I'm trying to figure out what goes next, because now it goes to Aaron, and Aaron has drawn the Shatterpoint card. So if you look on the left-hand side, he's got Vader, Obi-Wan, the B1s, General Grievous, Kraken, the B2s. He can activate any unit here. Now Obi-Wan is still completely untouched. Where is that Obi-Wan? Obi-Wan Kenobi out of hiding is... Gosh, where's Obi-Wan? Obi-Wan Kenobi out of hiding. Where are you hiding, Obi-Wan? Oh, there he is.
It's over.
Wait, that's not your... Where's your Obi-Wan? No, that's Obi-Wan down there, right?
That's my Obi-Wan.
That's I was like, where is Obi-Wan? In case, sorry folks, you can't see. Obi-Wan is hiding under the catwalk. He's pinned under scaffolding. Sidious has reached over and grabbed some scaffolding and pulled it down. And now Aaron's trying to figure out what he can actually do. And in case you're wondering, like, wait, what do you mean pinned? So the character is actually pinned, which means he can't move. If he was going to move, he'd have to burn an action, or he'd have to heal to recover the condition. So he's trying to figure out whether he wants to heal and move, or heal and fight, or whether he wants to activate another unit, because the Shatterpoint wants to pick anything that he's got on the left-hand side. So, really big decision tree. We've got, looking at the objectives, we have 3 momentum for Joon, 4 momentum for Aaron, but it is on Joon's side. So if he can pull up 4 squares to him, or Aaron can pull up 5 squares towards him, then that does it. Each one struggle. Now, we've just been going for a while, so every turn they get one. Okay, so Grievous. So now, what is Grievous going to do? Now, Grievous gets a couple things. So Grievous, at the start of it, another allied battle droid unit gets to dash. He can scuttle and climb, trying to figure out which of this. At the start of this, another battle droid can run, so he can try to reposition his movements. Just trying to figure out whether he wants to actually use Grievous or somebody else. And Grievous, in case you're wondering, let me go ahead and hide that. So Grievous is right there in the middle, hanging out next to Darth Vader. So trying to figure out where he can make that Grievous move to. And yes, in case anyone's wondering, those lightsabers do sometimes get bent, but if you put them in a cup of hot water, they'll get nice and soft, and you can straighten them out and get them all nice and pointy again.
Are we engaged?
So he's checking for the engagement range right now to figure out whether he's engaged. Nope. And the reason for that is if you're engaged, basically you're tagged up with that unit and you can't run away from it. Like basically you have to do small dashes. So you can't yeet yourself across the map if there's only if you're someone else engaging you, distracting you, which makes a lot of sense. So he's looking at Grievous's abilities here, trying to figure out where he can do. He gets the short movement tool. And what Grievous is doing is he's instructing the little B1 battle droids at the bottom who are hiding underneath to move. Now, those B1 battle droids, just to show those guys, you can see those things, I'm in charge now, can't really be used because they're still in reserve. When he's contesting, that battle droid does have protection. So the battle droid, even though they're fairly weak, is pretty good to, contest objectives. And after an allied unit makes a combat action, another one of them, he can give strain or expose. So they're actually pretty useful if they're fighting in mass. So pretty useful to move those battle droids. So let's go ahead and hide that little battle droid card for you. Now, unfortunately, the thing with the battle droids, just to bring this up for everyone, they're really not all that great in terms of stance. They do damage, move, damage, expose, not a huge tree. And if you look at their combat skills, not the best. Oh, okay, gonna hide these guys. We're gonna see what we're going for. And what he's trying to do is he's trying to tally up what his overall score is going to be. Now, one thing that's missing from the overlay right now is force counting, because we want to see who has which force available. And if we look over here on the right-hand side, we have no more force. We have we're force depleted. Basically, we have one more for Joon, and so now he's got his scuttle ability. So now he can scale. So just to show you what he is, so he can use scuttle. So he can scale, and one character may, make a full move. So he's just going to move. Yep, and did you hear that sound, ladies and gentlemen? That was the actual sound that he makes when he moves. Now, he knocked over that ladder, dashing on over. He's looking at Wrecker, looking at the small little child, and he's like, excellent. Another hero to add to my collection. Reaches over, he is within 2 of that objective, so would be able to contest it, and that is the primary objective this turn. Now, the real question is he...
I was 10.
Oh, okay.
The real question is he overcoming the number of units there? So he focuses, which gives him another, and his attack, and now Grievous has got a pretty brutal attack here. His quad arm attack. So he's got melee. He doesn't have range, so he's got 8.
5 dice, protection, and steadfast.
So he's got 8 dice that he can do. He's debating whether he wants to somehow amp it up. What's your play on amping it up?
So I focused.
Yep. So he's at 9 dice right now.
This Vader has an ability. Anytime any allied unit is making an attack, they can take 2 damage to add 3 dice to their attack.
Excellent. Vader basically teaches them to use the dark side. Yeah. Do it. Do it.
Yeah.
Dion Morass would...
damage, and add 3 more dice.
So he takes 2 damage onto Grievous.
Hey man, that's what the extra pack for.
And...
Is that? No, we'll count them out. A lot of misses.
Okay, let's see what we've got. We've got some misses. 5 misses. Oh, we've got 6 misses. Ooh.
I got two dodges.
2 blot.
And then make sure I actually rolled the right amount.
So we have 5 hits.
I actually rolled 1 too many.
5.
Too many.
Yeah.
Well, you're rolling then.
You gotta reroll all of them. Trust me.
No, wait. This is 6 plus 6. Yeah. So I was at
That's 6. Okay, yes.
Yeah, we're debating whether or not they actually rolled too many dice here, because of course if he rolls too many dice, he's got to reroll all of them. So now he's looking at the damage tree, trying to figure out what Grievous's damage does.
Crit and a hit or crit and a damage?
a crit and a
Damage. Okay. So is that a damage or a hit?
it's a hit.
A crit and a hit.
Yeah.
We did a crit and a hit and a damage.
So one expertise added a crit.
And a hit. Okay, not a damage.
Yeah.
Alright, I bought 2.
So the total number of damage tree steps is 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. He does not have 6, ladies and gentlemen. So basically, he just runs the whole damage tree. On Grievous? Oh wait, you're on a different stance.
Yeah, I'm on the quad arm attack.
Ah.
And 1 protection.
So Grievous is on quad arm attack. So yeah, he's just going to do the bottom one. So he does 1, 2.
7, 8, 9, 10.
So he does 10 to poor Wrecker and Omega.
And you don't have any damage?
And Wrecker and Omega have 10 stamina. So Omega. Omega. Does 10 damage to Omega. No, that's a terrible accident. No, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not even going to try. I was thinking, but wait, can I go, get myself into the spirit of it? No, absolutely not. So Grievous sees the 2 of them up there, and he does the quad arm attack. So he wasn't doing the, the finesse or anything. So like, just to show everyone what he's doing. So, like thematically, what happened? Grievous walked up to him. And just just slam them into Wrecker and Omega. Wrecker would obviously jump in front of Omega and like take them on his armor, but is horribly wounded. And so Omega's just like, oh no, Wrecker! And he's like sitting there, like he's still okay, but like yeah, his armor's like taking a real beating, and gets a ton of like knockback from this. So we're gonna hide this card so that you can see like exactly what he's doing right now, because Grievous's stance let him do several repositions. So having looked at this unit right in front of him, he just goes ahead and slams him, and throws that poor Wrecker all the way across the map. So he and Omega get like sent like flying.
5 dice melee?
Yep.
Okay.
Now the thing that happened is so because Grievous is technically a droid leader, he also gets to instruct one of the battle droids too. So in addition to, and actually sorry, just bringing that up really quick. So in addition to doing that nasty quad arm attack, the appetite for destruction, he chooses one of his battle droids and says, hey, you can do a dash, and then you can do an attack on one of the same enemy characters within range and line of sight. So basically he just says, hey, droids,
What's the chosen character Innate targeting one of the same enemy characters.
So you'd have to, if you wanted to make a range shot here, you'd have to move to a position where you are engaged, because you can't attack with range.
Can't you attack another unit? You can't attack any unit?
You can't use range attacks while
Period.
engaged.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Which kind of makes sense. So basically what's going on is if the battle droids decide to run close to Hunter, they're basically so close to him that they're like, if they pull up their gun and aim, they're basically just going to get knifed in like instant. So if they're close enough to Hunter, they got to take up a melee stance. So he's just going to be like, okay, I'm not going to move. I'm going to choose to stay so that way I'm not engaged. And they're just going to shoot right into, roll their melee.
one crit.
So he gets the crit, which is unblockable. Now the only way that doesn't necessarily do it, so it just does that one last damage into him.
So, 3.
3 dodges, or 3 blocks.
But it's a crit.
Yep.
And does protection work on only just one?
Yep.
Okay. So
It's not reinforced.
So just nothing, right?
Yep. And you control that.
Yeah. Don't control the middle. So 2 for me.
Yep. And momentum goes up.
Okay.
Okay. We roll.
Yeah.
And it is circle, which is that one.
So we move the struggle track. We get 1 momentum for Aaron, 1 momentum for Joon. So we've got like 3 left there, and then we drag it over.
Oh. Oh, did you reserve?
So it's close.
Oh.
Obi-Wan will have to be next.
So now it goes to Joon.
Okay, so,
And he just drew his Shatterpoint card. So can pick any unit on the board. So I'm going to figure out what he does to start his action. So takes a look down at the field and tries to think, there's this crazy brawl going on at the very top. And he's got poor tech, pinned up there. So what is he going to do?
It doesn't matter.
So
I'm gonna Omega dash.
So he decides to use Wrecker's ability. So dashes on over, and basically he does a bulldoze. So what he does is, when he's doing movement in Shatterpoint, you can place your character anywhere along the movement tool. So he basically places himself along that tool, grabs onto Grievous, and then Wrecker just goes, "Hah!" and throws Grievous into that little wall. Now, he did throw Grievous right into Obi-Wan Kenobi, which is exactly where Obi-Wan wants to see him. Now, Wrecker pulls out his gun. Grievous, just looking at Grievous's stance, Grievous is still on his quad arm attack, so he's only got 4 defense no matter what. Versus on the flip side, we've got Wrecker and Omega, and the stance they're throwing up, I think, is still their boom stance. So let's see. So they take a focus first. So they're on 6 melee or 6 ranged. So it goes up to 7.
Do I get to flip my stance card before resolving combat tree?
You may flip it once at any point during your activation. So now counts as the 1 flip. So he's picked this. He's going to go ahead and roll. What's he going to do?
I'm going to roll a 7 dice attack and then decide whether or not I'm going to flip. So it's going to be...
the same on both sides?
No, they're not the same. The attack is the same on both sides.
Actually, let's see. Stance card, so we're doing a quick may flip it only once at any time during the activation. So yeah, I guess technically what we're trying to see, and ladies and gentlemen who are watching this later, this might be totally wrong, but he's gonna roll his dice, and then once he figures out how powerful he is, then decide whether to flip his stance. The rules do say at any point during your activation. No, activation includes everything, but I think starting combat is already committing to an action. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're feeling that.
I don't think you can do that because that would change the amount of dice you roll. Right? That would also change the defense for some characters. I think it's got to be before.
Yeah, I mean, because at that point I would have, after I attacked, I would flip this over. Now it's 5.
I think it's gotta be Wrecker. Okay, how much damage do I do?
So Wrecker and Omega are bearing down on these folks. They take a look at them. They decide to go ahead and throw their attack, and it's a melee, so they're just gonna slam into them. Let's see, what is it? What's Wrecker and Omega's? You can do this, Wrecker and Omega. Go for it. Rolls the dice. Okay, so we're counting all of them. He's focused. 3 hits, 2 expertise. He consults the chart. So it turns a crit into a hit.
3 blocks.
We've got 3 blocks.
Crit and hit, so it's gonna be 2.
So does 2 damage total into General Grievous. So
You actually just can't. You can't use expertise.
Okay.
yeah, so it's a miss. Because he wasn't able to use those expertise, and the natural blocks were able to cancel it. So that was his move. Now the question is whether whether he reclaimed any objectives. So we're going to do a quick count.
Yep.
So I control 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
So he ends up pulling. So everyone moves up 1 momentum token, and Junior grabs 1, 2, 3.
Alright, roll. You know who's left in mine. It's this one over here. Yeah.
Okay, so here we go. Oh my gosh. So it is very close to Junyi. He reveals the last so he's going to figure out. It is Obi-Wan Kenobi stuck under a... he's technically not out of hiding because he's been hiding under that little, ledge the whole time. So, trying to figure out what he can do. He's facing down General Grievous. He can try to wound a character to get some momentum. Now, he's considering, what's on his stance. So, just to look at his abilities. So he can say, hey, either himself or another character that's engaged, they can heal and move. So he can actually throw himself across the map if he wants to try to grab an objective. He can mind trick someone, but however, he's out of force. You'll notice the 2 force icons. So he can't do a mind trick. Greater purpose, he has immunity. When you get straight, 1 character in this unit may heal instead. That's cool. And then last stand of the Jedi. For each injured token he has, characters in this unit add 2 dice to the attack and defense rolls. What? Now, unfortunately, he hasn't really done much, so he can't really use his last stand of the Jedi. But otherwise, he would just be absolutely devastating. So, just trying to figure out what action he does. So he could run. And he always has greater purpose. And greater purpose says he has immunity. So immunity, by the way, for those of you who are trying to figure out what that does, immunity just basically means he can't suffer that condition. So immunity to expose means when he would gain an expose, basically he gets to heal instead. So if you try to, bring him out of hiding, he actually just gets to heal himself. So instead he's going to use that run.
That's engaged with the character.
So
This unit 4, another.
yeah, so he is technically engaged with Grievous. So he's going to try to figure out what he can do.
I can actually... This one, I can choose another allied character.
Within 3 of you. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's going to measure some range and try to figure out which unit he wants to grab.
In this unit, and another character
Over. Can I get over here?
Yeah, so what he's trying to figure out is whether he can run and then dash and then move, whether he wants to just try to yeet himself across the map, get to that objective, and score the double points, which would get him move the momentum token back to the middle. Now, if he does move it to the middle, that'll also give everyone a double momentum and probably end the game there, because if the momentum token ends in the middle, ooh, that would be wild. That might be the play, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so what I'm trying to think is, if he's able to capture the 2-point objective token, that'll bring it into the middle. Now, if he brings it into the middle, everyone gets 1 momentum. So then he would be, and then get 1 momentum because they're past 90 minutes. So then he would be on 1, Junyi would be on number 3. Now, okay, so we'll see next time. This is going to be really tight. So what are we going to see? So how fast can he go? How fast can... Now, he looks at the very top of the map, and what he's trying to see is he's going to see if Obi-Wan yeets himself off the edge. No, it's Kraken. Just, boom, slams down. He's going to see if he can jump down.
Because you're gonna.
Now, you've got the B2 battle droids, right?
They're wounded.
And since they're wounded, they cannot contest that
Oh no,
objective.
you actually, if you hit him, he'll be wounded, and he can't contest it.
Right.
And you'll get a momentum for wounding somebody.
Yeah, but I was just trying to see if it was
We
possible.
didn't count this objective, and the entire time Echo had it, so.
So we have Echo just being a camper, just hanging out on that side of the map.
Echo has been
Just
there for 3 turns now.
Echo just doing his thing, just posting up by the side.
Give it to you too, 'cause if you would have had 3.
He's getting written out.
No, we're calling it because Echo had this objective for 3 turns, and we didn't count my momentum.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think it ends up being Echo who's the true hero. Well, it's Echo and Tick, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, Echo and Tech, the double unit, they were actually camped out near that top objective at the very top. So now we're trying to do like a little bit of like wrap-up play for this. But yeah, so what we're realizing is there probably should have been more on Juni's side. So we're gonna move Struggle Tracker over to him. And I think that. So we're still going to try to see if we can like figure out what he can do with this, because Obi-Wan's got like a pretty potent ability, and see if he can use this to sway this. But nope, that's the GG. That's calling it.
If that wasn't the case.
Now, if that isn't the case, trying to figure out, okay, what would these folks have done? And it turns out, at the end of all of this, having that unit at the very side who ran out, was able to establish an objective position and capture it, really made a huge difference. So what we're going to try to do, folks, is see if we can get you a quick zoomed-in view of this at the very end, now that we're all done. So going to open our camera controls and see if we can give you like a small pan through this battlefield now that we've had a good struggle. So thank you very much, everyone. We're going to go ahead and update the counter. So it goes up to Joon all together. I think I can do it. Let me go ahead.
I gotta get out of here.
Let me go ahead and
Life points are against me.
and get to our camera resolution.
Man, that beat her.
And go ahead and get back, and we're going to go ahead and close the stream. Thank you very much, everybody. This has been a lot of fun going ahead and giving me a chance to do this first stream. Obviously, any comments people have on how we can get better on this, please let us know. I'm excited to go ahead and get this out to everybody, but for now, that's going to be the end of this. What an exciting battle versus Aaron and Joon, and we are calling it. Y'all have a great night, and we will catch you later.